when I thought about this question, um, there's really such a long list of ills, and really, it I try to sort of do an iterative process mentally. Like if I came up with an idea, then the question became, well, how would I bring that about? So what your answer was a perfect example of that, because of course I agree 100% that eliminating war would be a tremendous advantage to planet Earth and all of its inhabitants. But then the question became, well, how do you go about that? What would be needed in order to bring about a cessation to all war? And what I came up with is something that actually can be applied very broadly to a lot of different things, I think. And maybe we can figure out today if that makes sense. But I think that in order to address homelessness, and like George Carlin said, a home is a concept, so it's really houselessness that's the issue, right? In order to take the millions of houses that are empty and abandoned and give them to the 500,000 or so people that are houseless, you know, that's something that would require something of people in order to do that. In order to bring about the cessation of war, there is something that would be needed in order to do that, in order to address hunger, um, in order to address poverty. There, you can't just say like, okay, well, let's end war. Well, okay, how? What would be needed in order to do that? And I think the answer is compassion. I think if I had a magic wand, I would like Scrooge's heart. I would make it burst. I would make everyone's heart burst with compassion. If everyone on planet Earth suddenly was imbued with the superpower of absolute compassion, I think better than 90% of all the that's a problem would be a problem. Like think of all the things that wouldn't happen if people had compassion. War, obviously, there's no way that you can have war if you have compassion for other human beings, you know. Um, Poverty would be intolerable. Houselessness would be intolerable. Hunger would be intolerable. Human beings would always make sure, human beings would really probably start to resemble ants. Ants have a hive mind. Everything they do is for the greater good, like even so far as being willing to die to ensure the safety of their fellow ants. When ants have to cross a body of water, some of them volunteer to die to be the bridge that other ants are going to walk over. I would like to see that level of commitment to your fellow human being, so that it's like that. I saw this short film on YouTube once. It was pretty interesting. It was a hidden camera thing, where a guy was asking, regular people, for lack of a better description, uh, for like a little food or something like that. Like he would walk up to people that were eating and he would ask for food. And all of the people that were doing great in life, or doing not even great, just average, just, you're okay. Your bills are paid, your stomach's full, everything is good. You're out there eating at a restaurant, all of them said no. But when he asked people on the street that question, They all said yes. Every one of them said yes, and that's an example of compassion, right? They know what it's like to be hungry. Because here's the thing: compassion doesn't have to come from direct experiences. Like, I don't need to shoot myself in the head to understand that that's not a thing that I want to do, right? So I don't have to be houseless to understand how horrible that must be. Imagine a family of four and they have to live on the street, because I believe 60% of houseless people are children. That's insane. Like, what is that like? It must just be the worst thing. Like, you know, when you're one of the things that I noticed when I was going in and out of Penn Station regularly is if you're there early enough, you get to see all the houseless people coming in from being up all night, because at night it's dangerous in their world, right? So, they finally start coming in to go to sleep when we're getting ready to go to work, and it's tragic. It's tragic to see these people, and how can that go on? Why is that acceptable? Or accepted? Why is that a thing that people are just okay with? you know and I think it's just a lack of compassion.